court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a... These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a... In jail I had... I make you cut off the... Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts call? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up the big Mickey Mouse. You put me at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. See, no, you don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands and your fingers. Your ears with a... Get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my... Zit the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a K for 2 wheels and they... Going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a... Like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the... Got in the... Gently. Angry and friends with these... When I was down out, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You're not happy with life, so you. Rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap, got a big band, it's like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's top notch.
I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I died. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get fuck you with to groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. Derek ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Trying to get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court, for real. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here. And we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And that one results in 35 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now back to throw. Pushing him away.
Popped it right out there.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run with Marshall. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
This is Marshall fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Hey. 4 down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there from 4 yards out. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to match protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Moore, 71 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Set!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over them into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
Gun! 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 Gun!
He'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Looking to throw. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jeremiah Tauchu able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. On 2nd down, Jackson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And he will find Scott on the right side complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So 1:55 to go in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Jackson on 1st down. That is caught at the 7. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And they'll go on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get it to him running left. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So they're back at the 7 now for third and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Got him on right side, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. Back to throw now on first down. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tim Williams in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll set up to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson on first down. His throw caught. Run around the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown, as his guys are in for 6. And the Ravens cut into that lead. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup, as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Win or go home home. That's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. Here comes Grant on the return. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 53 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And on the ground they go with a running back. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Now let's go!
It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And out across midfield down to the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game charts.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Watch him now, Barney! Over!
And here's Marshall. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given a little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Keith Marshall taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead now up to 14. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. The return man is Grant. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that 1st touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off right around the 43. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game, and with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Gun!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been flat getting it done, 8 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. And Lambo will put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Now, last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They go play action with Jackson, rolling to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, look at that, Chuck. A rookie picked the rookie on that play.
How about that? Is that rookie-on-rookie crime? But you know what happens, too. If you're a rookie defender, you tend to adjust to the game a little bit quicker than if you're a quarterback. Too many things still going through his mind. And on that play, the rookie defender won the battle.
Now Marshall. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 35. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
That one goes for 24 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. His throw caught at about the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A very solid gain of 27. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. It's their quarterback, saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Leopard! Leopard! Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. His throw incomplete. And the safety, Carl Joseph, there to knock that one away.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. And he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And an alley to run. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And they'll run him here. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this.
Ohio! Ohio!
And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class is starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that will extend this big lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Play action. Now Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Riley Harrison. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They go play action here on first down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Set! Green, 39!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The Ravens on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll field this at the 5. And he'll running right through it. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him 30 yards there. That one looks like he'll throw here. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Sharp's got it left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Their coaching staff, they were pretty adamant beginning of the year. Our goal is to get to the Super Bowl. Well, they made it to the playoffs. That's part 1, but they fall a little bit short.
And to me, once again, it exemplifies just how difficult it is to not just make the playoffs, but to win games in the playoffs. So you can set your goals high, but if anything is off during that time, you have some key injuries or you just don't play well, you get a bad matchup where that team just has better strength than you in certain areas, this is how it ends. So I don't think it's a total loss of a season, but obviously didn't get where they wanted to go.
I sound it.
Okay, I'm back to school, you. This is open campus. This is, I should slap it open-handed. With life, I told the model she need lower standards. Asked her if she had a twin, I feel like Joey Tanner. Big spender, Kris Jenner, I promote the family. Kardashian, see the Benzo, she like, oh, it's happening. Think she called me, cause she never knew her daddy. And my all black, Rhythm Nation, Janet, boy, don't make me Jackson. Bodily, what's underground? Underground, frontin' like a ride with the mob. Why shouldn't I charge me, myself, and I? Play the odds, a yes man, it's just a bobblehead doll. Holler them all. Strutting like Pac out the court, hop out the Porsche. Shake that, got that on menu, the a la carte. Boy, I had to make my point about this wave. Watch for the sharks bounce. I gave it up, I'm talking Cuban links. Tell her ain't no weak link in my Cuban link. Only like my age. We was gangin' since the platinum FUBU days. I got dreams of being Hova out your movie, yay. Listen, babe, it's so good you think I'm cool with yay. Okay, my diamonds dancing, I could Lisa Ray. Life is hard, but it's easy being truthful, baby. For real, overload. This is like I got like my pinky. Money money, baby, we don't pay, it ain't ours. Bet it back, I bet I match it like the same style. Chopsticks for beef, I'm shutting PF chains down. I gave you prophecy, my first one, then you lamed out. Luckily, sold, but it wasn't for me. Still the flow raw, keep the way I bubble in these streets. Who can with me?
Nikki, baby.
Go.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like True Goy, imagine me do boy, you could never do what I do boy, still ducking that I did boy, in Paris for a hit boy, these ain't the same type of hits boy, can get boy, you don't take these type of risks, boy, cause this boy been throwing that like rich boy, you miss, boy. Your numbers don't add up on the, that was 10 years ago. If you know, you know. Yeah. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. This thing of ours, oh, this thing of ours. Her fraternity of ringing off. I just happen to be alumni. Too legit, they still looking at me with one eye. The company I keep is not corporate enough. Child, you ain't orphan enough. A rapper turn can't morph into us, but a turn rapper can morph into Puff. Dance contest for the, I predict Al Roker. If you know, you know. I only ever looked up to, you all get a bird, this Oprah. Layers in ball shorts, coaching from the side of the ball court. If you know, you know. One stop like a Walmart, we got the for the wrong sport. If you know, you know. If you know about the port, though it's supposed to be awkward. If you know, you know. That's the reason we for circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know. You ever been hit with the water, then had to wait, do you walk away? If you know, you know. When we all clicking like Golden State, and you and your team are the motorcade. If you know, you know. Been granting wishes like a genie to bad in two-piece bikinis. I've been hiding where you can see me. The skybox is right next to Riri's. Solely responsible for showing rappers how to stand on the front lines when started throwing bands. Where were you when Big brought the Tigers in? Cause I was busy earning stripes like a tiger skin. Layers in ball shorts, coaching from the side of the ball court. If you know, you know. One stop like a Walmart, we got the for the wrong sport. If you know, you know. If you know about the port, though it's supposed to be awkward. If you know, you know. That's the reason we for circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
Somebody call for the queen. Dagger.
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me up by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sister by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the ocean, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me. My neck and my belly on